This is a live Channels television event.
Wọ́n ti ń sìnkú èyí tí mo ti ń rí tòkú màmá Ọ̀túnba. Ìwọlé bàjẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ló jẹ́ ọ̀run rere fún màmá wa Lídíà. Oṣù àkọ́kọ́ ló jẹ́ thank you. Ẹ jẹ́ kí á dìde dúró. Ẹ jẹ́ kí á fi.
Ṣèyí Mákindé FNSC and his visitor all the way from Edo State.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí á fi ìdìde dúró yẹ gómìnà wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Ọlọ́lá wa Ẹnjìníà Ṣèyí Mákindé àti akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ láti ìpínlẹ̀ Edo láti ìlú Benin. Gómìnà Godwin Obaseki. Ẹ jẹ́ kí á kí wọn káàbọ̀ síbí. Àwọn náà là ń retí wọ́n sì ti dé ẹni tá ń wí ó dé. Ẹ̀yin àyàn àgálú ẹni tá ń wí ó dé. Òwe fún òwò lọ́rùn gbogbo ẹ̀yin paparazzi gbogbo ẹ̀yin cameramen. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa sọ fún wa pé gbogbo ètò tó ń lọ ń bí pátá òun ni ó ń lọ lórí afẹ́fẹ́ live and direct. Bá a ṣe ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ń bí àwọn tó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní US wọ́n rí wa wò, UK, Canada, France, Germany, all over the world. Torí náà ẹ̀yin cameramen ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má dí àwọn ọlọ́lá wa lójú. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin paparazzi tí ẹ wà wájú gómìnà.
National anthem.
The national anthem, please. Ẹ jẹ́ kí á dìde dúró síbẹ̀ o.
Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, ipò aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe bírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́, ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣohun tó tọ́ tó dára nígbà gbogbo.
Your Excellencies, we shall start this program.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin àyàn ẹ bá wa pa gbogbo ìlú yẹn kẹ́ ẹ ṣe wẹ́lú.
Opening prayer by the representative of the Chief Imam of Oyo State, Ogaji Abbas Aladis, for the opening prayer.
The Grand Imam gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tí wọ́n tún jẹ́ Imam àgbà fún gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Bàbá wa Sheikh Abdulgani Ìyàgbọ́tọmọ kékeré ní bàbá wa Aladis ni wọ́n wà máa gbẹnu wọn sọ̀rọ̀.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وما من شيء يسبح بحمده ولكن لا تفقهون تسبيحهم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ní àṣẹ bàbá wa ìmáàmù àgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí èmi àfa Magaji Tamaya Alhaji Ismail àfa aládìsí tí mo fi ń ṣe àdúrà bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí wọ́n ní wípé èyí tí a ṣe yìí Ọlọ́run kó gbà fún wa. Àmín. Bàbá wa gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Ọlọ́run o èròǹgbà yín Ọlọ́run jí ó ṣẹ. Àmín. Ọlọ́run Ànábì wa Muhammad wọlé nǹkan mẹ́ta tí Ọlọ́run sọ fún Ànábì wa Muhammad ó ní nàlá àwítírún yóò ìbùlì wítírà àwọn nǹkan tí ò ṣe é pín nínú òǹkà wọn lọ́lọ́ máa ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀. Bàbá wa gómìnà Ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé ẹ wá ṣe nǹkan mẹ́ta tí ò ṣe é pín tẹ́nìkan ò sì fẹ́ ṣerú ẹ̀ rí lọ́yọ̀ state. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ polytechnic wa látijọ́ táwọn tí ń bẹ́ẹ̀ wo ò pé lọ́yọ̀ state rí ọlọ́npẹ̀yìn ni. Allahu Akbar. Èní ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì wọ́n wó mọ́sálásí wọ́n wá kó ètò tó dáa jù yún lọ wọ́n wá fi kún kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí ó di méjì ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta lè ta jókòó yìí mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yìí Ọlọ́run kó dákun kó fún yín lérògbà yín ṣẹ Ọlọ́run Nábì wa Muhammad èyí tí a wá ń ṣe yìí wọ́n ní pé ká má bọ Ògún o bàbá wa imam àgbàlẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ní ká má bọ Ògún o torí pẹ́sẹ̀ yìí ọmọ Mákindé wọ́n ọ̀bọ̀gún tí wọ́n fi débi tí wọ́n dé yìí o wọ́n ní ẹ má bọ Ògún o ẹ má bọ Ògún o wọ́n lọ́lọ́ ní ká fi lékè ìtí wọ́n wá tí bàbá ìmáàmù ní ká wí ẹ̀wọ́n dàpọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àjọ wí. Bismillahi majriha. Bismillahi majriha. Wa marisaha. Wa marisaha. Inna rabbi. Inna rabbi. Lagafurur rahim. Ìtí wọ́n ní ká wí nù wò wà qala irkabu fiha. Bismillahi majriha. Bismillahi majraha. Wa marisaha. Wa marisaha. Inna rabbi. Inna rabbi. Lagafurur rahim. Gafurur rahim. Wọ́n ní gbogbo yín tẹ́ bá ti kọ́kọ́rọ́ bọnú ọkọ̀ ẹ máa lọ ọkọ̀ yín ò ní forí sọ́gi láti bárúkọ Ànábì ọ̀la ìjọka oṣù rẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n wà ń kalẹ̀ bàbá wa ìmáàmù àgbàlẹ̀ Ìbàdàn wọ́n ní ká kí gbogbo ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan dẹ́pútì wa wọ́n ní ká kí yín àti gbogbo ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan àti yá wa ìyẹlúwà subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Takbir.
Thank you very much. For Khan, I'd like to invite Bishop Muradeyo for the opening prayer in 5 minutes.
Bishop Ademola Muradeyo. Ní ṣókí náà ni
2 minutes. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, Lord God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, want to appreciate you, O Lord, on this 26th of April, that we are all gathered here to be part of this commissioning. We want to appreciate you, Father. Take your honor and glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for our governor, Governor Oluwaseyi Makinde, for fulfilling his promises, especially this one, this gigantic one. Father, take your honor and glory in Jesus' name. As we are starting this program, loving God, be with us, bless us, and guide us. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much for that short prayer. Your Excellencies, our royal fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Oyo State government, I'd like to welcome everyone, most especially our guests from Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. Obohan, sir, you're welcome to Oyo State. I'd like to welcome everyone to the official commissioning of Oyo Ojo Challenge bus terminals and official launch of Omi Tutun bus mass transit in Ibadan land. As we all know, the policy thrust of this administration is based on 4 pillars, that is security, education, health, expansion of the economy through infrastructure, and that is what we are seeing today, and through agribusiness. We will all know that this is in fulfillment of His Excellency's commitment to the transformation of the transportation sector in Oyo State. A round of applause for His Excellency, please. Moving on, I'd like to run through a brief introduction of dignitaries here. Firstly, I'd like to introduce to us the first man in Oyo State, a man that is committed to the growth and development of Oyo State, my governor, your governor, the people's governor, Governor Seyi Makinde, FNSC. You are welcome, sir. Also, our visitor from Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki Obohian, sir. You are welcome to Oyo State. This is where we set the pace. Thank you for coming. Also, we have here the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Engineer Rauf Aderemi Olaniyan, FNSC. You are welcome, sir. We have here the Speaker, who is ably represented by the Deputy Speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Mohammed Abiodun Fadeyi, and all other members of the House of Assembly. You are welcome. We have here the Chief Judge of Oyo State, my Lord Justice Mukhtar Abimbola. You are welcome, sir. We have here Federal Representative from Oyo State, Honorable Abbas Agbowori. You are welcome. We have Chairman, House Committee on Works, Honorable Kehinde from Makinyele State Constituency. You are welcome. We have here members of the Oyo State House of Assembly from Ibadan land. You are all welcome. Also, we have here the Secretary to the State Government of the state, Mrs. Olubamiwo Adeoshu. You are welcome, ma. We have here the Chief of Staff, Honorable Segun Ogunwuyi. You are welcome, sir. We have the Head of Service, Alaja Ololade Agbola. You are welcome, ma. We have the Chairman Advisory Council, Senator Osia Agbola. You are welcome, sir. We also have here members of the Oyo State Executive Council. Shall we all wave our hands for recognition? Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. We have here Chairman of Local Government Areas in Ibadan land, Chairman of Board and Parastatals, Chairman and Executive Members of the Oyo PDP, our Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Recognition will proceed after. Thank you very much.
Nítorí ìjọba àsìkò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí akí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Edo káàbọ̀ sí àárín wa, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki. Ní báyìí, ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa gbọ́ ìkíni káàbọ̀ látẹnu tani, látẹnu ẹni tó ní àǹfààní láti bá gómìnà mẹ́rin ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀wé ìròyìn. Tọ́já pé lẹ́ni àwọn gangan ni máyẹ̀ Olúbàdàn ti ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn lágbára Ọlọ́run torí pé wọ́n jáwé oyè lé wọn lórí láìpẹ́ yìí. Olóyè Lékan Àlàbí tí wọ́n máa bá wa sọ ìdí tí wọ́n fi ń pe ìlú Ìbàdàn ní ìlú olókè méje, Ìbàdàn, the city of 7 Hills. Ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún péré. Bàbá tí mo tún máa sìnkú, ẹ fi wọ́n lẹ̀.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, Your Excellency, the host Governor, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and following the protocol listed in this program, Your Excellencies, including the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, former First Lady of Oyo State, the Chief Judge, Head of Service, has added. And you heard the MC timing me 5 minutes, as indicated. My schedule is to highlight the 7 hills in Ibadan, as gazetted by the colonial masters. Because if we are to count the hills in Ibadan, we shall not lead this in the next 2 hours. So, starting from the known hills, Òkè Bọ́lá, Òkè Àdó, Òkè Fọ̀kọ̀, Òkè Mọ̀pó, Òkè Àrẹ, Òkè Ṣápátì, Mọ́kọ́lá Hill, and Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́. Thank you.
Ẹ bá mi fún bàbá olóyè látẹ̀wọ́. Mo ní wọ́n mọ ìtumọ̀ àkókò.
Thank you very much for that brief remarks. At this point, I'd like to invite the Honorable Commissioner for Public Works and Infrastructure, Professor Kehinde Dahoud Shogodoyin, for the welcome address. Professor Kehinde Dahoud Shogodoyin.
Àwọn gan ni onínáwó tèní. You are welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, FNSC. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Rania, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. And it gives me the great pleasure to welcome you all to the official commissioning of the 2 modern bus terminals here at Ojo in Akia local government. And later in the day, we'll go to Ibadan Southeast local government to commission the challenge bus terminal. The project for the construction of 4 modern bus terminals at Iwo Road, New Ife Road, Challenge, and Ojo in Ibadan was awarded to Messrs. Planet Project Limited in 5th of May 2020 at a contract sum of 16,900,471,800 naira only. The terminals are located at 4 different strategic and historic transit engines at the cardinal axis of Ibadan City. Ojo in the north flank, Challenge in the south, New Ife Road in the eastern flank, and Iwo Road in the northeast flank. These terminals are to function as the transit hubs for the state's Omitutu bus mass transit service. Your Excellency, we are here today to commission the modern bus terminal at Ojo, completed at a contract sum of 3,582,131,316 naira and 50 kobo. And the modern bus terminal at Challenge, which we later commissioned, was completed at the contract sum of 2,328,373,096 naira 36 kobo. While construction work continues on the remaining 2 modern mega bus terminals at Iwo Road and New Ife Road. These mega bus terminals feature expansive functional waiting halls, ticketing area, banking facility, food courts, eateries, public convenience, lift facilities, and a well-landscaped environment with open vehicular parking spaces. ammonia joint, and auxiliary plants like standby electric power generating plant, water reservoir, water treatment plant, waste dump drainage system, gate posts and gate houses, security perimeter fence for security, flooding light and perimeter electrification. Here at Ojo, I have what I call Oluwaseyi Tower. If you look up, you see on your left, here on my right, Oluwaseyi Tower. When I was young, I know Bowers Tower. Now I'm a little bit old, I know Oluwaseyi's Tower. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, the successful completion of bus terminals is in line with our visionary governor's roadmap for accelerated development of Oyo State Vision 2019 to 2023 by further opening up access to goods and services and create impetus for further development, allow for ease movement of people, intercity, interconnectivity between markets, business districts, local government areas, and other states, as well as ease of doing business for the citizens and travelers. Your Excellencies, at this juncture, I wish to express my sincere appreciation and that of my ministry to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwaseyi Makinde FNSC, for his vision and unflinching support for the execution of this project. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, have the greatest honor and privilege to welcome you all to the official commissioning of these two modern mega bus terminals at Ojo and Challenge. Thank you and God bless you all.
Honorable Commissioner for Works and Public Infrastructure, Professor Daoud Kehinde Sangodoyin. Libiti Awayi, I would like to especially recognize our mama, the former First Lady of Oyo State, a mother of substance, Her Excellency, Chief Mrs. Mutiat Olayinka Ladoja. Evan Kimamo, you are welcome, ma. Bákan Aki Kábíyèsí Olúbàdàn tilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn tó ṣe wípé àgbà oyè Abíọ́dún Kọ́lá Dáìsí ló ń ṣojú bàbá wa Kábíyèsí Ọba Lékan Balógun. Ẹ bá mi ṣe Kábíyèsí o. Aki Kábíyèsí bàbá wa Ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ti ìlú Ṣakí Ọba Khalidu pé àwọn náà káàbọ̀ sí àríwá bí ẹ bá mi ṣe Kábíyèsí o. Bákan náà Aki Asẹ́yìn ti ìlú Ìsẹ́yìn Ọba Abdulgani Ajínọsẹ̀ Ológun Ibi ẹ bá mi ṣe Kábíyèsí o. Mo sì kí Yèyélúwà ìyá wa Bọ́sẹ̀ Adédìbú. Bákan náà ni mo kí ẹnjíníà tí ó ṣe yí pé àti òun àti ẹnjíníà tó ń ṣèjọba lọ́wọ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ báyìí wọ́n ti jọ lẹ̀pọ̀ wọ́n ti jọ rò pọ̀. Ẹnjíníà Joseph Ọlásùnkànmí Tégbè, you are welcome, sir. My sister.
Thank you very much. Ejo, thank you. At this point, I'd like to invite the Managing Director, Planet Project Limited, Otuba Biodun Otunola, for the project presentation.
Otuba Biodun Otunola, ẹjọ́ ẹ bá ní fún wọn láti ọwọ́ bọ́n ṣe ń bọ̀ yẹn. Àwọn ni wọ́n jẹ́ olùdarí ilé-iṣẹ́ tó ṣe agbátẹrù kíkọ́ ibi táwọn wò tó lárinrin yìí.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwaseyi Makinde, FNSC, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, other members of the State Executive Council, traditional rulers present, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol going forward. I think I've been given a very difficult assignment this afternoon on two fronts. When you are asked to speak after a professor, it's always a very difficult job. Professor Sangodoyin has spoken so much. I'll try my best to follow in his footsteps. Also, we are mindful of the time that we have, but we cannot have this kind of project and present it within 2-3 minutes. I'll try my best because of His Excellency here to make sure I can do this within a very short period of time. This project was awarded to us in May 2020, and the first of the series is what we are celebrating today. That is Ojo and Challenge Bus Terminal. I want to place on record that what is happening here is one of the new revolutions that our company and some visionary government across Nigeria are pioneering in the whole of African continent. And I think His Excellency deserves a round of applause for this. I want to put on record again that transportation and bus transport is one of the most important elements of infrastructure that you can have in any society. Today, within Ibadan, we have well over 20 million people traveling on an annual basis. But unfortunately, there is no facility of any sort for them until the new government of Engineer Seyi Makinde came and said, no, we have to rescue our people. I can put you again in statistics to say that in Ibadan alone, on a daily basis, over 50,000 people are moving in different directions on a daily basis. And all our airports in Nigeria is only 41,000. I repeat, 41,000 people are using all the airports in Nigeria. Yet, we spend so much money on building airports, and we care less where the masses of our people are using. Again, on this call, I want to say congratulations to His Excellency for taking this bold step, because a lot of government do not want to do things that concern the masses. But I dare say this afternoon that we have an Excellency who believes that the masses matter, the people matter, and indeed, you are a government of the people and you are doing the project for the people. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So, it's a social project, it's a revolutionary project indeed. We have seen in this country where what we have been told is that the road government house must be the best. Motor park, because the elites don't use the motor park should not be treated. They should not even be given any facility. Therefore, if you drive around most of the motor park within Ibadan, there are 47 of them. There is no toilet facility, there is no light, there is no parking space. People are smoking Indian hemp openly. But if you go abroad, the same elite use this facility abroad. Why is it that we don't have this? And I think His Excellency, for doing this in the first time in the history of this Oyo State, deserves a rounding of another round of applause, please. It is indeed history in the making. From Monday next week, our people will be able to travel in comfort, in safety, in security, and without any fear of favor. They will enjoy what other people are enjoying at the airport. And they are more in numbers than the people that are even using the airport. I said to you that today, we have a modern facility that compare with anyone, anywhere in the world. In this place, we have lift, elevator for people that are physically challenged, or any of the members of the passengers that want to use the lift is available for them. We have toilet facility, we have security, we have over 34 CCTV camera here, all stationed in different places, so we can capture even the pin that drop. Not only that, we have here Seyi Makinde Tunnel, which has been appropriately tagged by the Professor Songodoyi. Why is it tunnel there? It's also to make it touristic. Most of the public infrastructure that we see abroad are always the best. Why is it reversed the case in Nigeria? So again, we have to come around and develop something that everybody wants to use. And that is why we have this tunnel. So if you're on top of this tunnel today, which we are going to take His Excellency there to go and see, you can see the real picture of Ibadan. You appreciate the beauty of the city and why Ibadan indeed is celebrated as the second largest city in Africa. Excellency, again, congratulations for making this not only a transport project, touristic, and it's also an iconic project. So part of the facility that we also have, we have food courts here as we have it. We have banking hall as well. And we have opportunities for a lot of employment. So from next week, Monday, a lot of youth are going to be employed. To run this facility alone, we need over 100 people. Already, recruitment is ongoing as we speak. Banks are already contacting us, food retail, everybody is interested. Because anywhere there's transportation, there's always commerce. So again, not only are we doing transportation, we're also doing commerce, we're doing business. So a lot of business activity will happen within this environment. On behalf of ourselves, we are Planet Project, we are Nigerian, and we are proudly Nigerian. Thank you, His Excellency, for giving us this opportunity. Some years back, in the 70s and 80s, this kind of project can only be built by foreigners. But here, Nigerians are doing it, and we're making our country proud. We're employing our Nigerians, our fellow Nigerians, people from the native here, who are the ones working there day and night. And it's a proud testimony of what Nigerians can do if given the opportunity. There are 4 of this terminal. I can say to you that we have delivered the first two, Ojo and Challenge. Watch out before the end of the year. Iwo Road 1 and Iwo Road, which is going to be one of the biggest in Africa, I promise you, will be delivered. Thank you very much.
Ever before October, Ọ̀túnọ̀lá ní àtẹ́wọ́, wọn ò lè sọ́tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. Ẹ rí i pé wọ́n ní ká ẹ bá mi fún gómìnà látẹ́wọ́. Mo wá ròyìn pé pẹ̀lú gbogbo tí wọ́n sọ yẹn gan tá àjẹ́ wọn ó láǹfààní àsọtán. Àtẹ́wọ́ nìkan kọ́ ló yẹ ká fún gómìnà. Ẹ jẹ́ fún wọn ní standing ovation níṣẹ́jú kan.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, moving on, I'd like to invite, please shall we have our seat please, thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to invite the wife of the former governor of Oyo State, Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Mutiat Ladoja, for a goodwill message in 2 minutes. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, our Kabiyesi in absentia, permit me to stand on the existing protocols. Today is another great day in the development of our dear state, Oyo State. Today is another great day in the development of our dear Oyo State under a visionary, focused, and people-oriented Governor Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde-led administration, where landmarks, achievements are continuously recorded on a steady, progressive trend. My dear people of Oyo State, we should not take the grace of God upon our herdsman in Oyo State for granted, because he has graciously brought back the lost narrative of Oyo State as a pace setter with his developmental projects. For me, Mr. Governor, I can only say well done and thank you. More power to your able elbow. I congratulate everyone that has contributed in one way or the other to the success of this project. I also salute the courage of our amiable governor, the initiator of this laudable project, for pursuing this project to a logical conclusion. As a stakeholder in Oyo State, I dare to say that we need more of these modern-day developmental projects across the state to bring comfort and dividend of democracy to our people. And I know our amiable governor has a listening ears for the good of his people. Ladies and gentlemen, I joined my voice together with other peace-loving citizens of Oyo State to appeal for cooperation with this administration to guarantee progressive development for the benefit of all and sundry. I also appeal to end users of these facilities to please use secure and maintain government properties as personal belongings. In doing so, we will prolong the lifespan of these facilities. Only then can the state government be justified to continue its development agenda in the next March dispensation. It is my utmost pleasure and gratitude to God for sparing our lives to witness this landmark achievement in Oyo State. God bless Oyo State. God bless our darling governor. God bless the people of Oyo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you and God bless you all. I wish you all journey mercies to your various destinations. God bless you all.
That was Her Excellency, the wife of the former governor of Oyo State, Chief Mrs. Motiat Olayinka Ladoja. Ní báyìí, a fẹ́ kí àlejò wa, the executive governor of Edo State, have a sense of belonging here by calling on the Edo Cultural Troupe to step out and give us an entertainment. Edo Cultural Troupe, please. Àmọ́ òun ni ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu. Ó fọ̀nà fún iṣẹ́. Àbá ní kí mo máa dá gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èdó lára yá lọ àmọ́ àsìkò yìí náà ní nǹkan. Ó pè wá níjà. Thank you. Kì í dún ọ̀pọ̀ tí ó kí lọ ní òkè. This is just a symbol of our hospitality. And I'm sure our people quickly remember that in those days, what the land as Edo and Delta State used to be part of Western region. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this point, yes, the special advisor to the governor on infrastructure and transportation, Engineer Sheyi Adeleye, for the vote of thanks.
Your Excellency, Governor Sheyi Makinde, Your Excellency, Governor Godwin Obaseki, please permit me to remain on the established protocol as I honorably give the vote of thanks for this occasion. Ẹ kú ilé o, ẹ̀yin ará ilé. Ẹ sì káàbọ̀, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ rìnrìn àjò wá bí. Ẹ kú ìdìde gbogbo, ẹ sì ṣeun tẹ́ ẹ bá wa pàdé níbí ilé ni. I've been given this honor this day to convey our thanks and our gratitude to you for coming to grace this occasion which celebrates our commissioning of 2 mega terminals here in Ibadan and also an enduring mass transit system, Omitutu. This a catalyst for an illustrious generation, sustainable society, and it's an urgent commitment for better life for our citizens. Thanks to the laudable and audacious governor we have. I'm particularly delighted to be part of the visionary administration led by our governor, whose vision and unrelenting passion for excellence allows us to break new grounds and be thankful. While what we see today here is physical, mega structures and the buses, what we don't see, but is coming along with it, is youth empowerment, ease of doing business, quality of life, access to goods and services. And we also don't see, but some remember what Ibadan used to be like with Ibadan Municipal Bus Service as far back as the 50s. The pace-setter state is coming back again. At this juncture, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency and to you distinguished guests for sharing in the passion, the vision, and the zeal to the realization of a physically functional and economically vibrant, a socially harmonious, and an aesthetically pleasing Oyo State for all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the great honor to thank you for your time and to wish and pray for journey mercies as you journey back home. I leave you with Psalm 118 verse 23. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Oluwa lo seyi, o si sekini, o si dara loju wa. Ẹ ṣé, ẹ kú dìde.
A round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on in this program. You know that our special guest of honor, His Excellency
the executive governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, speaks English and, of course, the Benin language. And this is Ibadan, the home of culture. Your Excellency, the governor of Edo State, our governor will speak in the language you understand, but we want you to actually see why we are the center of culture in Africa by asking the person to usher in His Excellency, our governor, to step out in his traditional regalia and costume to speak to us in 1-2 minutes the language of Ijala, the hunter chants. Ijala.
Ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́! Lónìí mo rí nǹkan oṣù mi, ọba tó dá mi wáyé, ó ti bá mi sọ́dọ̀mọ́. Mo lóyún ọ̀rọ̀ nu òkú dókítà àti ọ̀gbẹ̀bí mi lógun ọ̀fẹ́. Ìsọ̀lọ́gbọ̀n ìbọn ọba di méjì ìyá abá dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ àwọn. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn, ẹ dákun ẹ̀yin èèyàn tí ń bẹ bí ẹ bá ṣe gàyà. Àwa ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé àjọǹjẹ ajẹ́mu ni. Mo fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn ó fetí gbéyàwó ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ dákun ẹ̀yin èèyàn kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ lù Ọ̀yọ́ jó. Ìlú tí ó fi pétégbèté tún ládé labú ni ọ̀rọ̀ hùn. Ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ̀ẹ̀bẹ̀ dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ ló wúwo bí irin. Ẹ máa gbọ́ ọmọ ayé èèyàn. Ṣèyí ṣe bẹ́bẹ̀ àbí ọ̀sẹ̀ bẹ́bẹ̀. Kábíyèsí ẹsẹ̀yìn wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ kan ní dọ́tà lọ sí flag of NAUTEC nílùú Sẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ní 2015 àwọn dìbò lódìdí fún Isiaka Abiola Ajimobi ẹ̀yin èèyàn. Wọ́n wá ní gbogbo ọmọ Sẹ́yìn wọ́n ní ṣe Sẹ́yìn nìkan níbẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni. Ọ̀nà láti Mọ́níyà déédéé Sẹ́yìn, ọ̀nà látọ̀yọ́ déédéé Sẹ́yìn, ọ̀nà lọ́gbọ́mọ̀ṣọ́ déédéé Sẹ́yìn. Asẹ́yìn sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní lódìdí ni ọmọ Ìbàdàn. Ẹ̀yin lẹ́rọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ lẹ́tọ̀yọ́ bọ̀. Adésakí Sakí dáhùn. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn, kábíyèsí ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ Sakí bàbá sọ pípọ̀ níbẹ̀ gan. Ẹ wá sí Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin. Adéyẹmí sọ kí bàbá mi ó tó wáyà. Ìjọ wọn kọ́ kẹsàn-án. Ọláìwọ̀ lásọ kíní kan lọ́yọ̀ ẹ̀bí mi ẹ̀ pé kí lọ sọ. Ó lẹ́yìn ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́. Ó ní Ṣèyí ti ṣe tí Ọ̀yọ́ ń fẹ́. Ó lẹ́yìn ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ lọ ṣe tí Ṣèyí ń fẹ́. Adéyẹmí ti sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ̀. Ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ò ní tàṣe àgẹrẹ ọlọ́wọ́ gbálẹ̀ àti fi wọ́n jóná ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn mọ́ lọ. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìbàdàn, ẹ máa gbọ́. Ṣèyí ṣe bẹ́bẹ́ nígboro Olúbàdàn yín ò kíyèsí. Bá a bá fẹ́ rìnrìn àjò, àwọn aláràmí tí wọ́n ń tọ́ aláràmí lọ. Bàbá gbéra táwọn ọkọ̀ òfurufú kò sí international airport kankan ní South West tó ju tìpínlẹ̀ Èkó nìkan lọ. Alákíá Ṣèyí ti sọ di international. Lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ẹlẹ́dùmarè ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ló fi sí. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ díẹ̀ bọ́bọ̀ èdè torí ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ ní kò mí dẹ́dẹ́dẹ́ lówó bí ọkàn náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ campaign. Ọbẹ̀ ni ó ṣe ní èèyàn yóò ṣe èèyàn. Àníbi wá láàárọ̀ lásán. Ẹ rí mo ti kọ́kọ́ gbéra. Mo bá ṣe bí ti Mọ́kọ́dá là ń lọ sí. Ìgbà tí mo bu ṣe gàyà. Bí mo ṣe ń lọ ní mọ́tò tí Ṣèyí Mákindé fún mi. Mo wá rántí bí ọdún 4 àbọ̀ sẹ́yìn. Gómìnà kan ló gbé búdòsà wá ló ní wọ́n máa sáré iṣẹ́ rédíò. Ṣèyí wá gbé búdòsà lọ síbẹ̀ òní. Ó ní wọ́n fóònù gbogbo ẹ̀ kí wọ́n tún gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe. Kí mọ́tò ọmọ lóòdù kọ́ mọ́ ògbé èèyàn bẹ̀ gbogbo rẹ̀ ọmọ ìfẹnumúra wọn. Àwòkọ́ṣe Ṣèyí ni gbogbo wọn wò. Ẹbí ní ẹgbẹ́ ń sáwò. Àsìkò kòrò. Ṣé bàbá náà kí gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà? Èyí ní rárá kò dé pínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Wọ́n wá wò sí oore. Ẹlẹ́yìn nìkan. Ìyá fún ẹgbẹ́. Mọ́mọ́ wálé. Ìgbà tí ó tún yá. Ó ní bank manager. Ọ̀ṣunárì mú káyidà. Mr. Peace mo fẹ́ kọ́ jẹ́. Ẹ dé gbogbo rẹ̀ ọ̀fẹ́ nu mọ́ra wọn. Ọ̀dà náà, èmi ní nǹkan kọ́ mo níyọ̀ tètè. Gbogbo wa la jọ búrò yín lẹ́nu. Torọ́jọ́ lèmi àti wa. Ìyá fún ẹgbẹ́ bí mo fẹ́ kọ́ jálù mọ́sà díẹ̀ sí. Àmọ́ búrẹ́là ní ẹ̀sán mọ̀tẹ̀. Ọmọ Ìbàdàn. Sẹ́ni Ṣèyí ọmọ ọlọ́kọ̀ ní sí yọnu. Ọ̀bùrẹ́là ní ẹ̀sán mọ̀tẹ̀ ọba ṣèké. Ọ̀bùrẹ́là ní ẹ̀sán mọ̀tẹ̀ o. Ọ̀bùrẹ́là ní ẹ̀sán mọ̀tẹ̀. Tó bá tọjọ́ ọ̀bọ ní ẹ̀sán mọ̀tẹ̀.
ọ̀ṣọ́gbẹ́ ti gbòòrò àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni. Omi tuntun ti dé, ẹja tuntun wọnú ẹ̀. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti dúpẹ́ aláyọ̀ àyìn babalógo. Ìjà wọn ti ń jẹ gómìnà nílùú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kọ́ṣẹ́ tọ́tọ́jú arúgbó rí. Mákindé farúgbó mọ́tò. Ó tún fi mi ní ṣẹ́ẹ̀tì aláfọ́fà ó ní mọ́ fagéréré. Ṣèyí Mákindé ó gbó ọ̀tọ̀ gbogbo àwọn ọ̀tá rẹ̀ wọ́n máa lọ ni. Nígbà òní ṣe pé èmi ò ṣe pé nígbà òní káwá pàdé rẹ ní yàpọ̀ ṣì. Mo sọ fún ọ̀pọ̀ láwọn ọ̀tá rẹ̀ bẹ́ kó mọ̀ ọwọ́ náà kó mọ̀ bí òwò kó mọ̀. Gbogbo wa máa lọ gbogbo ẹni tí ọba ti ní ojú ó sì kejì ẹ máa lọ. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti gòkè àgbà. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti gòkè àgbà. Olúṣèyí ti gòkè àgbà. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti gòkè àgbà. Olúṣèyí ti
gòkè àgbà. Òrìṣà lókun ẹ̀ mọ́ dalẹ̀ o. Ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ òrìṣà lókun ẹ̀ mọ́ dalẹ̀.
Bàbá ló tó nílò àṣìṣe ni. Thank you. Ọyẹ ẹ ṣeun. Àsìkò ní ọgbà wá láyè. Ẹ má wọ̀rì. Ìjọ tẹ́ ráyè náà pánà yẹn ń bọ̀.
Thank you very much.
Ara ń bẹ́nu yín àmọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àmọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ àdáràn bí tá a wà yìí.
Thank you. At this juncture, I'd like to invite the #1 citizens of Oyo State, a man with a genuine purpose to develop Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, FNSC, for his speech.
Please be seated. Thank you. Your Excellency, my very dear brother, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, Your Excellency, the wife of the former governor of Oyo State, Alaja Mutiat Ladoja. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Raouf Olaniyan. The Honorable Speaker, Oyo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Debo Ogundoyi, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi. The Chief Judge of Oyo State, Honorable Justice Munta Abimbola, other honorable members of the Oyo State House of Assembly that are present here, the SSG, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, Chairman Oyo State Advisory Council, Emoki Babami, His Imperial Majesty the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Senator Maud Olalekan Balogun Ali Okumade II, ably represented by High Chief Biodun Daisy Mokiyin. Moki Okereti Ilu Shaki, Oziki Asheyina, other royal fathers and paramount chiefs, gbogbo ẹ̀yin orí adé ọrùn lẹ̀kẹ̀ tẹ́ wà níkàlẹ̀ mo kí yín o. True Honourable Commissioner for Public Works, Professor Shangodoyin, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin other honourable commissioners in the cabinet of Oyo State Government that are here. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí a jọ ń ṣe ìjọba, other political functionaries that are here. Chairman Pacesetter Transport Corporation, Honourable Daria Adeleke, mo kí ẹ̀yin náà o. Distinguished members of the entourage of Edo State Governor, I recognize you. Service commanders that are here present, you are duly recognized. Chairmen of local government areas in Oyo State, Moki Yina, permanent secretaries, heads of non-ministerial departments and agencies, Moki. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin leaders, elders àti èèyàn jàǹkànjàǹkàn tí ẹ wà ń bí, especially jẹ́ recognize the bàbá wa Chief Bayo Oyero, mo kí yín sà, Alhaja Bọ́sẹ̀ Adédìbú, mo kí ẹ̀yin náà. We're just looking in front of me. Mo kí, I think I saw briefly Bàbá wa Dr. Saka Balogun, mi mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n wà níbí. Mo kí yín sà, ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà. Well, my brother tí ó ti kúrò ní ẹgbẹ́ àwọn onígbàálẹ̀, ó ti wá sọ́dọ̀ umbrella, Chief Joseph Tegbe, mo kí ẹ̀yin náà o. Let me say that other eminent personalities that are here to grace this occasion, I especially greet you. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin, the executive members àti prominent leaders of PDP, our great party that are present here, you are duly recognized. Managing Director of Planet Projects, Biodun Otunla, you are duly recognized, and your team. Prominent religious leaders àti community leaders wa, mo kí yín. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin transporters, market leaders, traders, artisans, and other professional bodies, tẹ́ wá ń bí mo kí yín. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ náà mo kí yín o. Ẹ̀yin obìnrin mo kí ẹ̀yin náà o. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, ẹ̀yin oníròyìn, gentlemen of the press, mo kí ẹ̀yin náà o. Mo dẹ̀bẹ̀ yín tẹ́ bá rí bí ni kẹ́ rìkọ́ọ̀dù o. Ẹ má rìkọ́ọ̀dù nǹkan níbòmíì kẹ́ wá gbé jáde pé tẹ́ rí níbí nìyẹn. Aṣá àti kí yín. I promised omi tuntun. Ǹjẹ́ ìyá ará ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣé ẹ experience the omi tuntun or not? Ṣé omi tuntun bá yín lára mu? Ṣé kó omi tuntun máa rotate síwájú àti síwájú? tó bá bínú ẹ má bínú mọ́. Exactly. Today is an exciting day, and I'm delighted to be here, joined by my brother, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki. Well, I want to specially thank you. I know this is a very tight period for us politically, because even as governors, if we don't pay attention, you know, all the people coming to conduct this and that in your states, if you don't pay attention, so I thank my brother, you know, for taking out the time to be with us as we commission 2 of the 4 bus terminals that we embarked on building about 2 years ago. Yeah, people may think, well, 2 years ago, 2 years is a long time, but for this set of administrators, we were faced with very difficult challenges, especially COVID-19. That threw most project duration, you know, threw them out of the window. But at least out of 4, 2 are being commissioned today. One of the things we knew Ibadan needed when we came into office was an effective transportation system. Well, mo rántí bí mo ṣe lọ káàkiri. Mo bá ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, mo bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. In 2019, just after we came into office, we made a case for having to demolish some buildings around here. I want to thank you for listening to us then, because we could not have accomplished any of these things without your support. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn kan wọ́n instigate yín. Some people went to court. There used to be a filling station here. I called the people, I called them to my house. I pleaded with them. I offered to give them almost the same value of land and space further down the line, where we are going to have the dry port. He agreed with me. But ìgbà tó dé Ọ̀yọ́, ó padà wá sọ pé òun ò agree mọ́. Well, èmi ti sọ pé kí wọ́n lọ wó bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́la, tó bá agree mọ́, kò sí nǹkan tí mo lè ṣe. But further down the line, at least alignment wà. So let me use this opportunity to stop and say, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹ ṣeun. Thank you for keying into this vision. Of course, not everyone was seeing the big picture as we were. In fact, some people said the project was a misplaced priority. There were comments over níbẹ̀. And they created a list of other projects that they thought we should have prioritized. Well, we knew better, because in our quest to engineer a modern Oyo State, we always rely on data, on science, and on logic. The data showed that it was time to build a modern alternative to the existing transport system in Oyo State. Oyo State receives heavy traffic from all over the country by virtue of its location. Ibadan developed from being a nodal city. Àmọ́ pé ojú ẹlẹ́gba ni wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ní Èkó. Fẹlá náà kọrin bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ojú ẹlẹ́gba mọ́tò ń wá láti bí ó ń wá láti bí Ìbàdàn náà bí ojú ẹlẹ́gba ló ṣe rí ṣùgbọ́n torí pé àwọn forefathers wa wọ́n mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe wọn ò limit ẹ̀ sí size ojú ẹlẹ́gba Ìbàdàn grew from people coming from all over to pass through Ibadan. So by virtue of its location, Ibadan has always been a town where travelers can lay over, either on their way out of the southwest or into the southwest. And the data then said to us that it was time to build on that comparative advantage. And I one thing to promise you, when we spend a dime of Oyo State money on infrastructure, that infrastructure must target our economy. And this is an example of this. Jobs will be created. Some people will come, see, they will stay, and they will never go back. Àmọ́ ní Ìbàdàn gba onílé, ó gba àlejò, ó gba olè, ó gba ọ̀lẹ náà, everybody ẹ ṣáà máa bọ̀, olè àtọ̀lẹ, àkọ́ wọn níṣẹ́ tí wọ́n bá ti dé Ìbàdàn bí. Science supported the data and also the geographical facts pé ibi tí Ọlọ́run create Ìbàdàn sí àti Ọ̀yọ́ state cannot change. Ntọ́lọ́run create ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tọ́lọ́run bá create apple tó create mango, abẹ́rẹ́ mọ mango ní Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ tó create ọsàn, tẹ́ bá lọ sí side Ìbàràpá, ẹ rí ọsàn, ẹ rí cashew. God created those things for us. But Ọlọ́run ò ní create apple juice fún wa. Ọlọ́run ò ní create mango juice. Àwa ni àwa bí a ṣe sọ mango tọ́lọ́run fún wa tá a fi sọ the juice. So ntọ́lọ́run fún wa, now we're leveraging on that comparative advantage. Well, we knew that we needed funds to carry out some of these and other projects we are embarking on. Federal allocations have been dwindling over the years. We needed reliable ways to ensure that the state's IGR remained stable and grew enough to support further development. So we invested in projects that could yield returns into the state coffers, such as the rehabilitation of the Lake Salami Sports Complex at Damasinga, the ongoing Fashola agribusiness industrial hubs, and these bus terminals, which we are commissioning today. Bí ọ̀rẹ́ mi Bíọ́dún ṣe sọ, these terminals are not just about boarding buses. What we have done is to build a standard bus terminal as can be obtained anywhere in the world. That is why it comes equipped with amenities that will support economic activities and tourism. Àwọn kan ní pé ìgbà táwọn gbọ́njú, àwọn máa ń lọ sí Boas Tower, àbí? Ẹ̀yin náà máa wá sí Ṣèyí Tower ń bí ìkẹwàá máa wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. At this point, at this point, the question some people will be asking is, how will it run? Who will be in charge? We hope it will not turn to, it won't turn out like other government projects that will become moribund in no time. Well, we have taken some steps to ensure that this will not be the case. So we're going the public-private partnership route in a sustainable manner. Níjẹta, mo lọ sí Ọ̀yọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sí Ìṣẹ́yìn, and we took the Ìṣẹ́yìn to Mọ́níyà road. At the commission more than 1 year now. Teba lọ síbẹ̀ again. Because guaranteed 20 years ni wọ́n fún wa. Níbẹ̀, it is still bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé a commission lánàá ni. The same thing will be for these bus terminals. So the commissioning of these 2 bus terminals at Challenge and Ojo marks a new dawn in transport system in Oyo State. We're committed to redefining good governance in Oyo State. With each project we commission, we continue to raise the bar. Well, some people will say this is the bare minimum. But if we can ensure that going forward, the good people of Oyo State reject anything less, then we can rightly say that our job is done. Ṣé ẹ tún padà sí Egypt? Oyo State ò ní padà sí Egypt mọ́. And on this note, I will call on my brother, the Executive Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, for his remarks, after which we will commission the Ojo Bus Terminal, inaugurate the Omitutun mass transit buses, and then we will take the maiden bus ride to Challenge to commission that terminal as well. And we will do this to the glory of God and the benefit of the good people of Oyo State. Thank you and God bless you.
Ẹ bá mi fún His Excellency ní àtẹ́wọ́ o. Níbi tí a wà yìí, ẹ jẹ́ kí a tẹ́tí sí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Edo. Gómìnà Godwin Nọ̀rẹ́gàsí Obaseki. Ẹ jẹ́ bá mi súnmọ́ kìíní yẹn láti bá mi adjust.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, my very, very dear brother, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governor and former First Lady of Oyo State, let me acknowledge the Chief Judge and the Speaker, who is ably represented, other members of the Oyo State Executive Council, and the Oyo State House of Assembly. You know, for me, Oyo is home, because I have a sister who is the Secretary to Government of Oyo State. I acknowledge Your Royal Majesty, the Olubadan of Ibadan, who is ably represented by my brother-in-law, Kola Daisy, and other traditional leaders who are here. At this point, let me stand on the protocol which has already been established by my brother, the governor. As you all know, Ibadan is home, a second home for me. Because I came here and I went to school and I got my degree from the University of Ibadan. Even though some people who didn't go to school say I don't have the certificate. So Ibadan is home, and it's a place that I'm very, very familiar with. 2 months ago, I invited the national chairman of our party to come and commission some projects in Edo. One of them was a bus terminal that is being managed by Planet Projects. He did not tell me at that time that he was doing something in Ibadan. So coming here today to see that my brother is commissioning 2 bus terminals, not 1 like I did in Benin, I'm very, very proud of you, my brother. And to see the quality of what you have done,
In fact, coming here, I was wondering, how did you get this land? Because while I was in school here, I used to drive up to IITA. I did not know that you can get this kind of land here. Not to talk about build a structure like this. We are truly, truly proud of you. Just listening to you speak a few minutes ago, I said, Nigeria has hope. When we have people like you in government, people who make decisions, not on emotions, but on data, on the facts. People who make decisions that affect majority of the masses of the people, not just a few of us who are elites. As long as we have people like those, people like you who have those qualities, Nigeria has hope. From the remarks by Biodun, he said the total number of air traffic passengers, the total capacity of all airports in Nigeria is put at less than 41,000 passengers a day. The bus terminals that you are building in Ibadan alone will take more than 50,000 people. So it's about our people. The purpose of politics and the purpose of government is to cater for the masses of people of our country. You will continue to have problems like I am having, because there are people who feel that being in power is just to empower themselves and their few friends, not to use the resources for the masses of the people that you are elected to govern. You will have challenges, don't worry about it. Come to us, we tell you how to deal with those challenges. You have done well. I just pray that God Almighty will give you the strength. From what I have seen in Ibadan today, I have no doubt that Ibadan people are appreciative people, or your people are appreciative people, and they know what to do when the time comes. Are you not appreciative? I won't say more. We will come back when the time is right. So it is my pleasure to be here today. I want to thank you for the reception. The MC was talking about culture. How can you, Ibadan, be telling an Edo man about culture? Anyway, I appreciate the cultural performance that was put up. And I also want to appreciate all of you who have been here since morning. We had to change the time because I had to fly in from Abuja. I want to finally congratulate you, my brother. This is just the beginning. You know our population will continue to grow. You know that you have to build more of these terminals to connect the entire state. But God Almighty, who has given you this office, will give you the means and the wherewithal to do more for the people of your state. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Excellency, sir. But before you leave that place, sir, my governor will step out. You see, when you talk of culture and hospitality, they go pari passu. My governor is stepping out, His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, to come and demonstrate the hospitality of Oyo State to His Excellency the Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, by making a presentation to him. But ladies and gentlemen, okay.
Oyo State government, this is an award of appreciation presented to His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, the Executive Governor of Edo State, on the commissioning of Ojo and Challenge bus terminals. I'm doing the presentation today, so it's from your brother, Engineer Seyi Makinde, today, 26th April 2022.
ẹ bá wa fún àwọn gómìnà méjèèjì látẹ̀wọ́ o. Láti bẹ̀ lọ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bí àwọn gómìnà méjèèjì bí wọ́n ṣe ń lọ yẹ àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé wọn tí wọ́n gun elevator àwọn ni His Excellency the Governor of Oyo State, His Excellency the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Her Excellency Mrs. Mosiat Ladoja, and the MD Planet. Gbogbo àwọn àlejò yòókù ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí a lọ rè gun staircase ká lọ rè dúró dè wọ́n ní second floor. Gbogbo àwọn yòókù ẹ jẹ́ ká gun staircase ká lọ dúró dè wọ́n ní second floor. Nígbà tí gómìnà méjèèjì igbákejì gómìnà ìyàwó Mosiat Ladoja àti MD Planet tí àwọn máa gun elevator yẹn ẹ ṣé o. Aki Giwadi ní ti gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Alhaji Kamodrin Kamjat aki wọn káàbọ̀ sí àárín wa bí látàárọ̀ gómìnà ń kí yín o. Bí a bá kúrò bí ọjọ́ la wà bí tá a bá kúrò bí ọkàn challenge èlé lè ní jẹ́ ní abẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ àṣẹ sùúrù ká gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí ládìlú gbogbo Ọ̀yọ́ olóyè Bísí Ìlàkà ẹ kú nílé ẹ kú ara fẹ́ra kú.
Hello. This plaque commemorates the official commissioning of the modern bus terminal Ojo, Ibadan, by myself, Godwin Noregase Obaseki, Governor of Edo State, under the administration of His Excellency, my brother, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, FNSE, Executive Governor of Oyo State. Today, Tuesday, 26th of April, 2022. And this plaque is to the glory of God and the benefit of humanity.
The former University of Ibadan student and Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, just inaugurated the Ojo bus terminal in company of his host, Governor Sheyi Makinde, and right now they have been taken around this bus terminal. Ultra modern, if we must add that, so that you understand the magnitude of this facility. You're watching Channels Television right here in Ibadan, covering every aspect of this very important event where the face and the entire landscape of Ibadan around this area has been transformed by virtue of this multi-billion naira project under the leadership of the Sheyi Makinde administration. There are two bus terminals that will be inaugurated today. This is the first, the Ojo bus terminal, and of course shuttle buses will also be inaugurated. From here they will head to Challenge, where another set of inauguration will take place. So you're seeing the dignitaries right there, the wife of the former governor of the state, Mrs. Ladoja, as well as project manager, the commissioners, and of course the traditional ruler and the two governors, the host governor, Seyi Makinde, as well as Godwin Obaseki, who is here to show his guests around this very ultra-modern facility. We'll be taking you around this as much as possible so you understand the extent of investment in this particular bus terminal. Let's give you an idea of what this facility, the component of this facility. It has a gatehouse, a powerhouse where you have the generator and all of that, so that electricity and power supply would not be a challenge for the operation of this particular terminal. There's also the service here, the water treatment plant, the ground and overhead tanks, beautiful lighting system, the elevator, the park area is fully air-conditioned, the public address system, the CCTV, the borehole system, the pedestrian walkway, and there's also a green area. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the place, I believe, for ticketing. So if you get here, you'll get to this terminal. That's where you get your ticket. And here, where you're looking at, is where you have to sit and wait for your turn when the shuttle bus will be ready to take you to wherever your destination is. Television as well, air conditioned, just to make your traveling and moving around Ibadan quite a comfortable one. The governor said they relied on a couple of things to make this happen, one of which is data. Let me run through some of the comments he made today on this particular project as we follow the cameras as much as we can. The governor had mentioned that the project completion period of about 2 years was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He also appreciates the community for their cooperation, especially those whose property had to be affected one way or the other for the sake of public good for this facility or this terminal to be built. And he made very, very emphatic statement about reliance on data, logic, which guided this project's conception. It's not just about sentiment or about just building a facility or embarking on a project. He said this project was guided by data. And according to the project contractor, talking about the traffic, air traffic in a year as compared to the traffic in Ibadan, which is a state that is an interchange, if you will. It leads you into the southwest, the southeast, the north central, and part of the south-south. So this becomes a very, very important project for everybody traveling around Ibadan and in Ibadan. He also talked about the revenue generation, IGR, due to the dwindling allocation from the federal government. The state governments have to start thinking of more ways to generate revenue, and this is going to generate revenue as well as employment, which is at the heart of this project. He said the state is also looking at all the things they have to leverage to make sure that they kick into all that is necessary to gain a comparative advantage. This facility at the bus terminal will support economic activities. I'm just running you through some of the comments made by the governor of the state. I'm talking about Engineer Seyi Makinde, who is touring this facility with his guest, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State. He said for the purpose of maintenance, because government has always been accused of being a bad manager of facilities, so that wouldn't happen, it's a public-private partnership. That is how this beautiful terminal, bus terminal or JAW will operate. So it's not just about government, the public sector is also involved. And he talked about the fact that the government is committed to the development of the state. So those are some of the comments made by the governor of the state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, prior to the cutting of the tape and unveiling of the plaque, of course, the inauguration of this JAW bus terminal. Very beautiful from here. You can see our cameras will continue to pan around and cut shots to get to different parts of this. So you see the full, if you will, the glory of this, giving Ibadan City a major, major facelift. Right here on Channels Television, wherever it's happening, we are there to make sure we bring you development as well as happenings across the country. That's a long shot around the area. Beautiful place you see there. You're watching Channels Television. Well, the present administration says they are committed to provide social amenities. I'm talking about the Seyi Makinde administration, as well as infrastructural facilities in all nook and cranny of the state. And this bus terminal is actually one of those things that they have embarked upon to make sure that the people of Ibadan and Oyo State in general enjoy what they see when they go outside the country in terms of bus terminals. So here at your Ojo, which has just been inaugurated, is what you're looking at right now. Any moment from now, the dignitaries as well as some guests will leave here and head to Challenge, where a replica of this has also been built to ensure that commuting and transportation, road transportation, is at its finest in the state. Now, this bus terminal features places like the ticketing booth. We showed that earlier, the bank hall, so you can do your ATM services and your financial transaction, a waiting lounge, a restaurant, relaxation spots, toilet, lift, pharmacy, just in case you have any health challenge, you could quickly dash in there to get some medication for yourself. Also, there's also detachable cubicles for the display of wares, and the tower is called the Seyi Makinde Tower, to view the topology of certain areas in Ibadan. Of course, you know Ibadan is an ancient city, red roof, and a beautiful place, and it's called the Pacesetter State. That's where you have the University of Ibadan, where the guest, the governor of Edo State, who is the guest, who has just inaugurated this project, was a former student of that particular prestigious institution. This is Channels Television. You're watching our live coverage of the inauguration of Ojo Bus Terminal in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, by the government of Seyi Makinde. The guest today is the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, who has just inaugurated this beautiful, ultra-modern, billion-naira facility to transform the transport sector in the state, literally. And there are a couple of socioeconomic benefits to this particular project, and some of which includes to provide efficient, comfortable and accessible as well as reliable transport services. It also improve the transportation connection in Ibadan and around the area. Of course, traffic congestion will be drastically reduced. It will improve the safety and security of the commuting populace as well. The quality of life will generally improve. So the places where you need to go with buses that are not up to standard, you now have to access this well-conditioned shuttle buses and arrive at terminals like this, where you have a great time either waiting to be taken to a destination or arriving from a destination. Traffic time will definitely reduce. Of course, this without mincing words, employment will be generated, and that means revenue will be generated because people will pay taxes and all of that. So that's it. We're heading to the shuttle buses. Well, people who live in Lagos, well familiar with this. We call it BRT in Lagos. I'm not sure what this is called, but these are the shuttle buses in Ibadan right now at the terminal. The governor and his guests are stepping in, I'm sure, just to get a feel of this. Let's take a listen. Live from the city of Ibadan, Oyo State, we are showing you the very happenings at the moment. This is perhaps the biggest event in the whole of the ancient city of Ibadan and Oyo State in general. A couple of people trying to make entry into the shuttle buses at this beautiful ultra-modern Ojo bus terminal in the city of Ibadan, just inaugurated a few moments ago by the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, who is well familiar with the state because he was a former student of the University of Ibadan in company of his host, Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. So you see people trying to get a glimpse of whatever it is they can see from wherever they are standing in terms of vantage point to witness this very historic moment that will transform the economic as well as the transportation landscape of the people of Oyo State. Oyo, the ancient city, and of course, Ibadan, the ancient city as well, the pace-setter state. Seyi Makinde, the governor, has embarked on a couple of projects from infrastructure like infrastructure to agriculture to communication to other forms of development that has been embarked upon by the Seyi Makinde administration. So we're going to move from here any moment from now. So you see the shuttle bus is leaving. We did tell you earlier that from here they're heading to the Challenge terminal. That's it. We're here. Our cameras are already here, by the way. This is the next stop for the governor. I'm talking about the two governors, Governor Seyi Makinde and Governor Godwin Obaseki. They are leaving the Ojo bus terminal. They are heading to the Challenge bus terminal that you just saw a moment ago, just to continue with the inauguration. It's a busy day for both governors and the people of the state as a witness history. Beautiful to see these governors in this shuttle bus leaving this particular facility at Ojo. So you're home for the news because we're ubiquitous. We're everywhere to cover every development right here in Oyo State. This is Channels Television live from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. You're witnessing the inauguration of the Ojo bus terminal. That has just been done. The governor of the state, Seyi Makinde, as well as his guest, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, have left this particular point, the Ojo bus terminal. They're heading out to Challenge bus terminal. 2 of the 4 bus terminals that have been built by the Seyi Makinde administration, costing the government billions of naira to ensure that this transportation sector in the state is absolutely transformed at the end of the day. So from here, the governor, the guests, as well as other dignitaries and people of the state are heading out to Challenge to inaugurate the next bus terminal leaving Ojo. So our cameras will shift attention from here any moment from now to Challenge. But just to reel out some of the things that you're watching, The governor had mentioned that this is ultra-modern in every sense of the word, and he meant it. And I can tell you that components of this particular project, as I earlier had mentioned, that it includes a gatehouse, a powerhouse, a service yard, water treatment plants, ground and overhead tanks are also available here to ensure that water is not a problem. Lighting, the elevator, the park area is fully air conditioned. The public address system to ensure that you don't miss your turn when you're taking the shuttle bus. The CCTV to ensure that every moment is captured in terms of security. Water is not a problem here as well because there is a standard borehole. There's a pedestrian walkway. There's also the green area. This is some of the components of this particular bus terminal, the Ojo bus terminal, as well as the Challenge bus terminal inaugurated by the Seyi Makinde administration. We understand that a couple of other parks will be terminating here. A couple of them are Shero, Challenge, Globalcom bus stop, Ijebode bus stop 1, 2, 3, the GTB bus stop, as well as Shagamu bus stop, including Tollgate and New Garage, all terminating at some of these locations. And it's a beautiful place, a beautiful thing to behold, if you ask me. And I also mentioned the fact that the governor talked about the socioeconomic importance of this particular bus terminal. In his remark, he did talk about the duration of this particular project lasting for about 2 years. That's owing to COVID-19, delaying project time completion. Appreciating the community for their understanding, especially those whose property were affected, to ensure that this is provided for public good, as well as talking about the fact that the projects he undertakes, I'm talking about Governor Seyi Makinde, has nothing to do with sentiment, but data, science, logic guides project conception and sentiment. Yes, well, this is the other location. As much as we can, we're going to just be flipping to give you all of the updates and bring you. Yes, this is the Challenge bus stop. This is the destination for the governor and his guests. They are coming here. They just left the Ojo. They are coming right here to inaugurate this particular bus terminal as well. Well, I was talking about some of the things that the governor said in his remarks before they left Ojo. That should be the fact that this is also geared towards revenue generation owing to the dwindling federal allocation. So every state has to look inwards. All subnationals have to look inward to look at how they can create, generate revenue and employment. It's also at the heart of this particular project. He said they looked at their comparative advantage. Look at how many people travel through Ibadan to the southwest, to the south-south, part of the north-central, and other parts of the country. So it's a major transit or strategic transit point for a lot of people. So why don't they build something beautiful to make sure that as you travel along or across or around, you have a great time traveling in the city of, or through the city of Ibadan. It says this bus terminal, based on the facilities provided, will support economic activities. And for those who have fears about maintenance, it's a public-private partnership between the government and the private sector to ensure sustainability, as the government is committed to development. So these are the two bus terminals that are ready for now. There are 4 of them in total, but 2 are ready for commissioning or inauguration. One has just been inaugurated, the Ojo bus terminal. They are heading out in this direction to Challenge bus terminal in the ancient city of Ibadan, as well as the Peseta state. Also note that this state hosts several institutions, including the prestigious University of Ibadan, private institutions, other specialist institutions. So the level of scholarship here, some of these institutions, at the end of the day, speaks to the level of scholarship of the people of Oyo State. Seyi Makinde, the 5th governor, democratically elected since the unbroken democracy in 1999 of the 18th, is the 18th governor, or the 18th leader, if I may, so that we can separate the military administrators from the governors of the state. So you're watching this from your home for the news, Nigeria's news leader, Channels Television.
Ladies and gentlemen, one Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Challenge Bus Terminal.
Of the transportation sector in Oyo State, Ibadan, to be precise, the Ojo Bus Terminal, as well as the Challenge Bus Terminal, being inaugurated by the Seyi Makinde administration, and Channels Television, your home for the news, is covering every inch of this particular event today. The guest governor is the governor of Edo State, who is a former student of the University of Ibadan. Well, quite familiar with the territory, if you ask me. Talking about Godwin Obaseki. He's just inaugurated the Ojo Bus Terminal, the one you're looking at right now. From here, they're heading out to the Challenge Bus Stop, where the governor and his guest right here will be inaugurating this particular bus terminal. I take the time to list some of the beautiful features of this terminal, including the CCTV camera to ensure that every aspect is covered in terms of security, water, as well as power, and the lighting, the elevator, and the tower. It's a beautiful thing to behold. So at some point, will allow you just to have a feel of the sight and sound of this particular facility. We also mentioned the fact that this is not just what the governor is doing. The governor has embarked on a couple of other projects, including in terms of communication, upgrading the state media organization, as well as other projects in terms of infrastructure, the lighting, in terms of power, light up Oyo, as well as some agricultural projects as well. The time will fail us to be able to list some of the things he's done since he took over the leadership of Oyo State as the governor of the state. Oyo State is perhaps the third largest state in terms of population, maybe besides Lagos and Kano State. But the landmass is quite huge, so you can imagine how important facilities like this are. And as been mentioned by the host, the guest governor, Godwin Obaseki, there are more terminals like this will be expected to be built in the future, given the growing economy, growing population of the country, as well as, of course, not in isolation, the people of Oyo State. So more facilities like this will be built. Billions of naira has been spent here to ensure that the transportation system, the transportation sector, receives a major boost and an upgrade like never before.
What's up, Ibadan people? We're still talking about Challenge Bus Terminal. GSF to the world, Sheyi lo to Sheyi, Oluwa lo Sheyi. Sheyi lekan si. Governor Sheyi Makinde, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, His Excellency. Four plus four, Sheyi lekan si. Sheyi Makinde, you are more than enough. The love of life you rain, solution. Life events entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Plaza planets project. Thanks to you. Sheyi lo sheyi, hi. Challenge for stamina, no be shere, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is? We're talking about GSM to the world. ODD ọmọ mi tuntun. Ọmọ látúbọ̀sùn, ó débi tí ó fẹ́ dé. Èyí Mákindé ọmọ látúbọ̀sùn. Ṣèyí Mákindé. 4 plus 4. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, ìjọba kọ́lí Bọ́lá hàn.
Ọmọ Mojísọ́lá wọ́n jẹ gbèsè kú gbèsè ní. Wọ́n jẹ gbèsè kú gbèsè ní. Aláàrú tó lóhùn wọ́pọ̀ balẹ̀jọ́ wọ́n jẹ gbèsè kú gbèsè ní. Táyé lòlú ọmọ Mojísọ́lá ṣáàdé ilẹ̀ orí ṣáàdé lè.
PDP to the world, ladies and gentlemen. What's up about the people? If you are not doing PDP, you are playing. That's so joy. That's so joy for power.
Èmi lè rànjú kòkó mọ́ wá sí. Èmi lè rànjú kòkó mọ́ wá sí. Nígbà dáúdá, dáò sì gbàyàwó ara wa. Èmi lè rànjú kòkó mọ́ wá sí.
PDP power, ladies and gentlemen. GSM to the world. Engineer Sheyi Makinde lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Ọwọ́ wa ló bọ́ sí.
Ọwọ́ wa ló tán sí 4 plus 4. Ọlọ́run, ìwọ̀n ṣeré.
Ọwọ́ wa ló bọ́ sí.
Ọlọ́run. What's up, everybody, people? Are you feeling tonight?
Ṣèyí Mákindé ọmọ látúbọ̀sùn.
Sheyi Makinde to the world once again, ladies and gentlemen. Sheyi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 4 plus 4. Ìbọn ṣeré. Ladies and gentlemen. When I say 4, you say 4. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. GSM to the world.
Ẹbí bàbá yìí léèrè, ẹbí bàbá yìí léèrè, àwọn alájú yìí lọ, ẹ̀yìn lè jù wá lọ, ẹbí bàbá
Sheyi
yìí
Makinde
léèrè.
ọ̀gá kan ọmọọṣẹ́ 2 billion. What's up with all the people? Your state government. You know, we're always talking about challenge for stamina. Commission the earth and the parishes in the Oyo States, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency Engineer Sheyi Makinde.
Appreciation.
Jose.
Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi.
GSM to the world, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have some power.
Mo dúpẹ́
PDP.
oníbùwọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi.
You know what time it is? Challenge boss Sammy now. Share your legacy. Are you ready for incoming of Governor Shea Market in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Let me hear you say PDP power. You know what time? What did you want? Let's sing.
Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbù ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí o. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Ẹ̀dá ló ń gbàgbé. Olúwa kò gbàgbé rẹ̀ nìkan. Bí ènìyàn kan lọ́lọ́run mi rí. Appreciation.
Mo dúpẹ́ oníbù ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi.
Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́
GSM to the world.
bàbá bọ̀ pẹ́ mi.
Engineer Ṣèyí Mákindé. Ìjọba Larry. Ìjọba wà látàsí. Come on. Personal person to Engineer Ṣèyí Mákindé. 4+4. Ainda the pot for anymore. Ṣèyí Mákindé.
This is Channels Television. You're watching our live coverage of the inauguration of the Ojo and Challenge Bus Terminal in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, by the Ṣèyí Mákindé-led administration. The guest who has just inaugurated the Ojo Bus Terminal, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, is being shuttled on the bus from Ojo down to Challenge, where the next commissioning will take place. And we had mentioned some of the components of this particular bus terminal. This is the Challenge Bus Terminal. If you've been watching, you would have seen that not too long, moments ago, the Ojo Bus Terminal was inaugurated. And the governor had mentioned the fact that this is also part of the revenue generation drive of the state. Besides giving the landscape an upscale and facelift and developing the transport sector, it is also to ensure that all the sources of revenue comes into the coffers of the state, and there are clear paths to ensuring that this happens. One of the things the governor said in his remarks at Ojo Bus Terminal is the fact that this is a public-private partnership to ensure that this outlives any administration, so that sustainability is guaranteed. So our cameras are giving you aerial shot of the Challenge Bus Terminal. Guests right here waiting for the governor and his guests to arrive any moment from now. Now, one of the ways the revenue will be generated is through the shuttle buses that would naturally employ people. People will have to ride those buses. A couple of them, you are seeing the interior and one of the drivers of those buses a moment ago. There's also what they call the passenger insurance. In case of any incident of any form, there will be passenger insurance as long as you ride on those buses. Those are the things that the government is saying as part of the package for this particular transport revolution, if you will, in Oyo State. Ticketing is also, of course, a source of revenue. Route licensing is also another source of revenue. There's also what they call the terminal bus attendant, of course, people that will reach out and attend to you for anything you want to inquire, as well as the operating companies that I'm sure will pay some licenses to be able to run all these services based on concession and whatever policy the government has put in place to ensure public-private partnership thrives. So you're seeing the interior of one of the bus terminal, the lounge actually. Just a moment ago, where you have seats and the television for your entertainment when you arrive here, whether at the Challenge or at your job bus terminal. There are conveniences as well for you to ease yourself, take care of yourself at the end of the day when you need your personal privacy. There's also this clinic where in case of any medical incident or emergency, before they give you any advanced form of treatment, that will be the first port of call. And this is another hall where people generally will walk through to their different buses as well as go take their seats, waiting on buses or arriving from their various destinations. So there's also the bar and the restaurant in case you're hungry, you want to snack on a thing or two, or literally get a full course meal. It's also available right here at the bus terminal. So the components are quite impressive, if you will, to ensure that everybody who uses this enjoys every bit of it. We understand that thousands, tens of thousands of people travel through this particular state. I'm talking about Oyo State, Ibadan to be precise, going to the southwest, places are coming to Lagos, places like Ogun State, as well as going to the south as well, and even parts of the north central. So this is a strategic investment by the government, according to the governor, looking at data, not just sentiment, data, science, and logic to make a critical decision to invest billions of naira on 4 bus terminals. 2 are ready for inauguration. 1 has officially been inaugurated. They are on their way here at the Challenge Bus Terminal. I'm talking about Governor Seyi Makinde and Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, who is his guest, who will be doing the inauguration to ensure that this starts full swing in terms of operation. So it's expected to improve level of efficiency, comfort, accessibility, and reliable transport service in the state. Also to improve the transport connection in Ibadan, as well as reduce traffic congestion, improve safety and security of the community and public. That's why you have the CCTVs, to also improve the quality of life, because at the end of the day, when you enter these shuttle buses, well air-conditioned, and get to any of this terminal, well air-conditioned, it just reduces stress on anybody using all of this. That will in turn improve the economic productivity of the people of the state because of the comfortable transportation system. So these are some of the things that the government has put in place to ensure that the people of Oyo State have a great time traveling from one point to the other.
Ṣèyí Mákindé to the world. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ní bàjẹ́. Ìlú Ìbàdàn kò ní bàjẹ́. Àwọn èèyàn tá wà nínú ẹ̀ náà á ní bàjẹ́. Four plus 4, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is? PDP. Let me hear you say power, ladies and gentlemen. To just show you Mákindé to the world. Hi. GSM. Oh, you know. Everybody say. Charlene Bostamino, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is? Hi. Right now. Let's sing.
State has a long history. Of course, the Oyo Empire, and now a modern city where some of the infrastructures you're looking at have been put in place by government of different governments, but this particular government has decided to face transportation today to ensure that it improves the transportation infrastructure of the state. So you're looking at the Ojo bus terminal right here in Ibadan, city of Oyo State. Two of these particular terminals are being inaugurated today. This one and the next, where we're waiting for the governor and his guests to arrive pretty soon. We're talking about the Challenge bus stop. And remarks have been made. Governor Godwin Obaseki, who is the guest inaugurating these projects today for the government of Oyo State, has been commending his colleague. He precisely told him that, look, with you in government, there is hope for Nigeria. I remember those words from his mouth to our listening ears. And the reason he mentioned that was because of what the governor said, that the project he is undertaking has nothing to do with sentiment, but on science, data, and basic logic to ensure that the well-being of the people of Oyo State is put first, and the people enjoy the benefit of democracy. So those were the comments made by the governor of Edo State as this project was inaugurated a few moments ago. So we're waiting for Governor Seyi Makinde, Governor Godwin Obaseki, to arrive anytime soon at the Challenge bus terminal to inaugurate yet another state-of-the-art billion naira project that will serve the people of Oyo State and the transport sector in the state in general. For those who have fears, the governor has mentioned that there is nothing to worry about. This will outlive his administration, as it's a public-private partnership to ensure that sustainability is guaranteed. And I did mention some of the components of this particular project. I'm going to be reading it out as much as possible, as much as we can, which includes a gate house, a power house, a service yard, water treatment plant. Some of the things you can see visibly, some you may not see, but you get to enjoy the service. Ground and overhead tanks, lightings, elevator, park area is fully air-conditioned. Beautiful marble tiles, as well as the beautiful walls and public address system to ensure your security and safety in case you make a claim of any form. There are CCTV cameras all over the place to record every happening around here. There's also a dedicated transformer, as well as borehole, pedestrian walkway, as well as a green area. It has components just like a bar, restaurant, a clinic, in case you have a medical emergency. Some of these things are put in place to ensure that whatever is needed at the bus terminal and for the ease of transportation and traffic, you have it here. And the governor had also mentioned that this is a strategic investment looking at the place of Ibadan in terms of transit point across different parts of the country, from the southwest to the south-south to the north-central and other parts of the country. Ibadan is very, very strategic. So looking at that, the leverage on their comparative advantage to ensure that commuting through, driving through, or traveling through or around Ibadan is made as comfortable as possible, which will in turn generate revenue because employment will be created, people will pay taxes, people will pay for tickets, the buses will be licensed, routes will be licensed, attendants will be employed. So it's all encompassing. It's well thought through to ensure that the people enjoy the benefits of governance under the Seyi Makinde-led administration. And I did talk about the fact that the governor had mentioned that other things have been done as well. There are other projects embarked upon by this government beyond transportation. There's also the infrastructure. There's also what is called Light Up Ibadan, where strategic points in the state have been given electricity for where they had none or where it was epileptic. There's also infrastructure. There's also projects in agriculture, from cottage facilities to cassava plants. Even the state broadcasting station has been upgraded as well. So the governor is trying to reach as much as possible to touch the lives of the people. Our focus right now is on Oyo State, Ibadan, to be precise. You're watching Channels Television, your home for the news. A live coverage of the inauguration of the Ojo and Challenge bus terminals by the Sheyi Makinde administration. Enjoy. Let's also remind you the scholarship of the people of Oyo State and, of course, Ibadan right here. Several tertiary institutions, one of which is a very popular University of Ibadan, is located right here in this state. And a lot of Nigerian leaders had gone through that institution. And when I look at the list of how many universities are there in the state, it just attests to the scholarship of the people, from private to public, from universities like the University of Ibadan, Ladoke Akintala University, the private ones like Leeds City, Dominican, Ajayi Crowther, Kalada Isi, as well as other polytechnics, including Okeogun, Federal Polytechnic, Ogbomosho. There are other specialist institutions as well, like the Federal School of Surveying, Federal College of Forestry, and Federal Cooperative College, as well as the Federal School of Statistics, colleges of education, agriculture, College of Animal and Health, as well as production technology, colleges of other colleges, if you will, that including schools, Oyo State College of Nursing and Midwifery in Ibadan. There are a couple of institutions all over Ibadan. So it just attests to the scholarship of the people of this area. So academics is quite important. And when you're ruling and enlightening people, you need to bring ultra-modern facilities like this to appeal to them at the end of the day, which is what the Sheyi Makinde administration has done to ensure that it brings us beautiful bus terminals. We did mention earlier that there are 4 in the works, 2 completed, 2 yet to be completed. The completed ones are the Ojo as well as the Challenge bus terminal that we've been speaking about. Really now the component of some of these facilities that has been built to improve the transportation sector of the state. The governor had mentioned that people made sacrifices to ensure that this happens, and he took his time to appreciate the people and the community where this is located to ensure that something of public good is cited at the end of the day, relying based on data and logic to ensure this facility is provided, and several components as well. It's talked about ensuring that projects are spread across the nook and cranny of the state, including every area, literally. And this bus terminal is one of the things that he's done to ensure that everybody within Oyo State, especially Ibadan for today, have a feel or has a feel of his developmental stride at the end of the day. Even at the Challenge Bus Terminal, we've been waiting for a while for the governor and his guest, as well as the dignitaries here, to arrive at the Challenge Bus Terminal, where proceedings will kick off any moment from now. We did tell you that the first took place at Ojo. That's for the benefit of those who just joined us. 2 bus terminals have been inaugurated today in Oyo State, in Ibadan to be precise. The first was the Ojo bus terminal, and now the governor and his guest, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, have arrived at the Challenge bus terminal to inaugurate the Challenge bus terminal. We listed some of the features of this bus terminal, including some of the most modern things you could think of to ensure that people enjoy road transportation or road travel. So we'll just listen in and enjoy the sound and sight and sound of this particular event. You're watching Channels Television, your home for the news, our live broadcast of the inauguration of the Challenge Bus Terminal after Ojo Bus Terminal was inaugurated. The governor and his guest just arrived. Let's listen in for the national anthem.
Hello. Aha. Ẹ ṣeun. Thank you. It's okay. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé. Your Excellency.
Hello.
The Executive Governor for your state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, FNSE. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor for your state, Engineer Raouf Aderemi Olaniyan, FNSE. Her Excellency, Chief Mrs. Mutia Tolayinka Ladoja, the wife of the former Governor for your state, the Deputy Speaker, representing the Honorable Speaker, all members of the Oyo State House of Assembly here present, Your Honor, the Secretary to the State Government, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, all the members of the Oyo State Cabinet, member representing Ibadan Southeast Northeast Federal Constituency, all protocols duly observed. I would now want us to relax after taking that beautiful ride in the tear-rubber brand new Ometi Thomas Transit bus, right from Ojo Terminus down to Challenge Terminus here. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want you now to sit back and relax as we bring out to entertain you the Yoruba cultural troupe for your relaxation and enjoyment. Ẹ̀yin oníjó àṣà ìbílẹ̀ wa, ọ̀yá ẹgbẹ́.
Kakabo, Manivia Oyo State, Matwa, Our Excellency Shei Makinde, Otwa, Obokia.
ṣe àdúpẹ́. Thank you.
And you, oh, we got the photo. It's all for you, it's all for you. Ibadan bẹ́lẹ̀ yìí rẹ̀ Ìbàràpá bẹ́. Ojú ọjọ́ èwo yóò pẹ̀lú. Ojú ọjọ́ ọmọ àpàjọ́ fún ẹ̀rọ.
Thank you.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ ṣeun, ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, to do the vote of thanks, I'd like to invite the chairman, Payseta Transport Services, Honorable Dare Adeleke, to move the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, I stand on established protocol. It's a great day and a novel occasion that we are all here, only just because we have a star boy in the Southwest. And he has displayed this in so many ways. Like I said the other time, that I can say more, I can only say thank you, sir. Your Excellency, sir. I really thank you because you have made us proud. You have changed the narrative of the state. And people are now trending what you have done, and that is exactly what we are doing now today in Oyo State. It is Omitutu, Ibadan. I want to say, Eshion, thank you very much.
Eshion, Honorable Dare Adeleke, Alaga Payseta Transport Service, not the Palo Waye. Eshe, nígbà tí a kí gbogbo àwọn orí adé tí wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí kábíyèsí Olúbàdàn, Àṣẹ̀yìn, Ọ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ Ṣakí àti Òpétò Tìjẹ́rù. We now invite His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, to step out and give us his speech as we want to commission the Challenge Bus Terminus, the second today.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó. Wọ́n ti sọ pé tí a bá ní kó yẹ onílù kó dákẹ́ tí ò bá dákẹ́ ó fẹ́ tẹ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣeun. Let me again recognize my brother, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, for being with us. And the protocol established ní Ọjọ́, we're still on that protocol. Mo ti kí everybody, but some of our notable royal fathers àti paramount chiefs, mo rí pé àwọn kan ò sí nígbà tá a wà ní Ọjọ́, wọn ò sí lọ́dọ̀ wa bọ̀ wọ́n ti wà ń bí, so mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin orí adé ọrùn lẹ̀kẹ̀ tí ẹ wà ní ìkàlẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí àjọ ń ṣèjọba náà, gbogbo everybody tó wà on the entourage of my brother from Edo, the governor of Edo State. Mo dẹ̀ kí service commanders wa náà that are here. At least mo ti rí sector commander road safety. I didn't see her. at Ojo, but maybe mi ò wo dáadáa ni. Ẹ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn jàǹkànjàǹkàn tí ẹ wà ń bí náà mo kí yín once more. I've made my speech ní Ọjọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ìbéèrè tí mo béèrè ń bẹ̀ yẹn màá béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin náà níbí. Ìgbà tí mò ń lọ káàkiri fún ìpolongo ìbò 2019, mo ṣèlérí pé ẹ rí omi tuntun. Ṣé ẹ rí omi tuntun àbẹ́ ẹ rí? Ẹ rí omi tuntun nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kí Ọ̀yọ́ State kó padà lọ sí Egypt? Ṣé ẹ fẹ́ kí Ọ̀yọ́ State máa tẹ̀síwájú ni? Ẹ ṣeun. Ó dáa. Ìgbà tẹ́ ti sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ máa tẹ̀síwájú ni ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run á ṣẹ nínú ayé ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa. Á ṣẹ nínú ìpínlẹ̀ wa. Sẹ̀bẹ̀ tí mo kàn fẹ́ bẹ̀ yín, lastly because my brother Governor of Edo State, wọ́n sì ní assignment mi ní Èkó, so we have to leave shortly. What we're going to do is I'll invite him over just to say one or two things, and then we'll go ahead and do the commissioning. So on behalf of the entire people and government of Oyo State, I want to again specially thank His Excellency for journeying down from Edo State to be with us on this day. We have commissioned the bus terminal at Ojo, and now we're commissioning the one here at Challenge. So I have the singular honor to invite my brother to come over and say one or two things to us.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, my brother Sheyi Makinde, thank you for inviting me. I want to stand on the protocol which you have already established to thank the people of Oyo State for the support which they continue to give you. For those of us who have had the opportunity to live in Ibadan, and traveled through Ibadan. What we are seeing here today is almost a miracle. You have a governor who is a thinking governor, who has realized that one of the major advantages of Ibadan is that you are a transport hub. Traffic will come from the main city, the main port of Lagos. It will go to the north, it will go to the west, it will go to the east. All that traffic will go through Ibadan. So he's thinking, he's a thinking governor, to note that as you come from Lagos, you need a terminal that will take the traffic coming from Lagos and redistribute into Ibadan. Some of that traffic he will take to Ojo that will now go on to the north. Some of that traffic he will take to Iwo Road and it will go into Osun, the west. That is a governor that thinks. Oyo State, you are blessed. You are lucky to have a governor like Sheyi Makinde. I'm happy that part of him is from Edo. Maybe that is why he's so good. So I want to congratulate all of you. I want to congratulate the executive governor, his executive council, the legislative arm that is supporting him, the judiciary, all of you who continue to work day and night to make Oyo State and Nigeria a better place. Sheyi, congratulations.
Check. Hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
This is Channels Television. You're watching our live coverage of the inauguration of two major bus terminals in Oyo State, Ibadan, to be precise, by the Sheyi Makinde-led administration, the Ojo and the Challenge bus terminals right here in Oyo State. The guest is the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, who just made a few remarks a few moments ago, commending the people as well as the governor for this project. Let's listen into him as he reads from the plaque.
This plaque commemorates the official commissioning of the modern bus terminal, Challenge, Ibadan, by myself, Godwin Obaseki, Executive Governor of Edo State, under the administration of His Excellency, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, FNSE, the Executive Governor of Oyo State. Today, Tuesday, 26th April, 2022. And we do this to the glory of God and to the benefit of humanity and the people of Oyo State. I now have the pleasure, to the glory of God and for the benefit of the community, it's to have an opportunity. Pardon.
Ashurong. In Oyo State in Ibadan today, as the Ojo and Challenge Bus Terminal have just been inaugurated by Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, led by his host, Governor Seyi Makinde. The Ojo and Challenge Bus Terminal project will be operated in a world-class transport standard, incorporating all aspects of public transport operations, such as these shuttle buses. You've seen them if you have been watching for a while. There'll also be passenger insurance for any incident of any form to ensure all of the passengers that will be using this transport system as you buy your ticket. There's also the ticketing aspect of it, the route line sensing, terminal bus attendant, as well as operating companies. These are some of the ways the government rather, intends to operate this particular bus terminal and this innovation in transportation in Oyo State to ensure that revenue is generated, employment is generated as well. So it's two faceted. One way is to make sure that money comes into the state, apart from the federal allocation, also to give employment to the people of the state, and by extension, give major facelift to the state in general. So imagine seeing this in your city. This is quite beautiful. It's a beautiful ultra-modern piece right here in Ibadan City, the Ojo and Challenge bus terminals just been inaugurated. And there's a reason for this, according to the state government. It's expected that, they said that the most dominant mode of transportation in Ibadan is public transportation, largely by taxis and minibuses, tricycles, as well as commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, playing major roles. So this is going to give a major facelift. This other modes of transportation has given it an intercity transport operations around the Ojo and Challenge, as well as Tollgate area, some concerns. And so the government is putting this initiative, or this project, I should say, to ensure that the transportation landscape and system and sector are properly repositioned to reflect what a modern city, although it's in the ancient city, should look like. You're watching Channels Television live from Ibadan, your home for the news covering every aspect of this inauguration exercise.
Ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ iṣẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ ní sáyọ̀ fèsì dáadáa. Ìrìn ajá ò lórí èyí tí ó fi bá àbùkàn láíláí. Àbò lórí tí ó fi bá máa ń tẹ̀lé o. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ nínú pọlitíṣàn. Ọ̀rẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Mákindé ní bàbá yìí. Àmọ̀dáfẹ́ o, àmọ̀dáfẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kọ́ má fọwọ́ lálẹ́ fún wa. Ìdìbò Ọ̀yọ́ gómìnà tó ń bọ̀ yìí, Mákindé lọ́gájú ẹ̀ báwo káàdì yóò yá. Kọ́rẹ́nsì ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ abirẹ́ni tó ṣọ́. Ṣọlá wa ló fi amúyí sí jẹ́rọ. Ìgbàlẹ̀ mọ́dún mẹ́jọ tó yá ìtọ́ wa wí. Ó bá wọn kàlókàló, owó ni wọ́n kó mi o. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ìníbíjú wọ́n tún ṣe kàfẹ́ ẹgbà mi. Wọ́n bá ti rú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ sì máa ti gbà. Ẹlọ́dún mélòó wọ́n ti sùn wá òkà bọ̀. Ìbá ń so ọmọ ìjẹ́bíyù. Ẹ̀rọ bọ́ sí ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ á lè lónìí. Àìsàn ọ̀tàlẹ̀ ọmọ bá ṣe níṣẹ́ láì ní o. Ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń di ìjẹ̀bọ̀kúndé. Àìsàn ọ̀gbọ́n bá dé arọ́ láti bọ́ tẹ̀lé lọ. Ọ̀sàrin pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ o. Kíkú mọ́ gba bàbá ilé wa nù lọ́wọ́ mi o. Kọ̀sàrin pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Àníkẹ́ mú kẹ́yìn pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Kíkú mọ́ gba ẹ̀mú kí ọ̀sàrin lọ́wọ́ mi. Ẹ̀rọ ni mo bíúdì o, tó bá ṣe wọ̀ wá bíúdì tí wàá tẹ̀ kí ni wọ́n máa gbá ẹ̀rọ ọmọ tó wà lọ. A ní kẹ́ mú gbé pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, kí mú kára pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ o, ẹni kò sí ra pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, kẹ́kẹ́ ọ̀sáré pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, kí kú mọ́ gbà bàbá ní ìwánú lọ́wọ́ mi o. Ẹ mú gbé pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Ọ̀sàrin pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, ikú mọ́ gbà ẹ̀mú kí ọ̀sàrin lọ́wọ́ mi o. Ẹni kàkà àwù pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Ẹ lọ sọ. Kí Sunday pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ o, ikú mọ́ gbà bàbá yẹn sọ láyìn lọ́wọ́ mi o. Àníkẹ́ mú gbé pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. Ọ̀sàrin pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, ikú mọ́ bá ẹ̀mú kí ọ̀sàrin náà o.
You've been watching our live coverage of this bus terminal inauguration, Challenge bus terminal. Earlier, there was your job bus terminal. And the terminal, quite a beautiful, ultra-modern terminal, built with billions of naira by the Oyo State government, led by Sheyi Makinde. His guest, Governor Godwin Obaseki, has just done the inauguration and leaving the terminal at the moment. Things like ticketing booths, banking hall, waiting lounge, restaurant, relaxation, sport toilets, clinic, lift, pharmacy, detachable cubicles, as well as several other places that has been factored into this facility to give it the best of ultra-modern outlook by the government of the day. And also, I did say earlier, to give it the transportation sector a major facelift and give the state a major outlook as well. So you've been watching this on Channels Television, your home for the news, as we cover every inch of this particular inauguration exercise right here in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. This is Channels Television. You've been watching our live coverage of the inauguration of Ojo and Challenge bus terminals by the Oyo State government. The honors was done by the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki. For the last 2 hours plus, we've been covering every inch of this particular exercise. This project, multi-billion naira project that has given the transportation sector and Oyo State a major facelift. And that's all for now. We now return to Lagos to continue with our regular broadcast.
You've been watching a live Channels Television event.